to catch up on their story now.
Yeah, it really was. And this week's Kid Connection child is 13-year-old Chanel. Now, we heard she likes giving makeovers, so we treated her to one. Take a look.
So what are your plans for when you get out of high school?
I'm going to go to school for art, this art school.
13-year-old Chanel will soon celebrate her 14th birthday at the end of this month. So we teamed up with the Minnesota School of Cosmetology to give her a day of pampering.
We're going to do a haircut. It's a little bit more modern, funky, but versatile at the same time.
Here at the salon, Chanel opens up to us about her many years moving from home to home, and we find out exactly what she's looking for.
Like a mom and dad and lots of space.
Chanel is a wonderful girl. She's got a lot of strength.
Betty Woodland is Chanel's adoption resource worker.
The children I work with have come through the child protection system and have experienced abuse or abandonment or prenatal exposure to drugs or alcohol, a variety of experiences.
5 years ago, Chanel's family terminated their parental rights. She's moved to and from foster homes, but right now is in group care.
She's dealt with a lot in her life, too, and she needs someone to be there for her as she transitions from a girl to a young woman.
Chanel also cares for her brothers and sister.
He's only 1 year younger than me. His name's Michael. And then my sister, she's 4. Her name's Bianca. And my older brother, he's 18. And his name's Anthony.
Initially, we're looking for homes for all the siblings together. And then after some time passes, we might look at whether they can be adopted in smaller groups or as singles, and that's what happened for her younger brother and sister, as they were adopted by their foster parents.
Chanel quickly warmed up to her stylist, Marquita, and we found out that this young girl loves to draw. So to inspire her, Chanel will get hair chalk to take home with her.
If you want to put a streak here one day, you can. If you just want to do your whole tips one day, you can do that. But it's going to wash right out.
She's getting the full treatment, including makeup. Even a manicure and pedicure finished off with bright colors.
It's going to be hard for her to trust because she's been let down so many times in the past.
Betty says Chanel is healing from an emotional hurt, but asks that her adoptive family just be patient.
I think that whoever does that will be rewarded by seeing this wonderful young lady grow and mature and change and become all that she can be.
What a cool look right there.
Fun.
Now, we heard that Chanel is in a group home. Kelly is here now. We talk a lot about the ongoing need for adoptive families, but there's also a pressing need for foster families as well.
There's a huge need in this state for foster families, whether that's a foster mother, a foster father, or a foster family. So that can mean long or short term, and that can also lead to adoption or not. So you can choose. But if you become a foster family, a foster parent, there is training and support that's always provided. And the idea is they want these kids to go back to their birth family. In the state of Minnesota, the statutory time for the limit for that is a year.
Okay.
So if they haven't been placed back in their birth family within a year, then you start looking towards adopting out or within that foster family.
Now, families might be concerned about finances because, of course, everybody knows when you bring a child into your home, I mean, there are a lot of expenses that go along with that. So is there support in that regard?
Yes, there is a stipend for foster families when they take in a child, and it all depends on what the child's needs are.
Okay.
So maybe there's a medical issue, might be a little higher, but it's all dependent on that individual child.
All right.
That's good, because it sounds like, I know with the adoption, there can be a process of just, it's long, there are different hoops that you have to jump through, and you need to make sure, but it sounds like there might be, this might be an interesting phrase to use, but fewer barriers to entry for that.
Well, there are still screenings, there are still home studies that go along with this as well, but the way to do that is very simple. You can contact your county social services agency, and they can provide what fostering is available in your county. You can also go to minadopt.org. They have all the information right there, but there are private agencies as well. So there's lots of ways to become a foster parent. My parents were foster parents for a year to a family member, and he was reunited with his birth family. So that I've seen that process. It is a lengthy process, and there are classes you go through, but it's definitely worth it. You can change a child's life very, very quickly.
Okay. So